Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Foreheads Podcast. We still have a show. We have not been canceled yet. I'm Goldenboy, along with my three other illustrious co-hosts. You got Sideshow, you got Reinforced, and you got Bren, who's having a delicious cuppa right now. And yeah, so
I want to talk about my cup of tea.
Okay.
Because I tried to make it recently. I've been drinking a lot of honey. I'm putting honey in it because honey, if you didn't know, antibacterial properties.
Okay.
It's very good for the healing process. So a lot of people put it in tea, or just general drinks.
Wait a second. Toddy. Do you think bees ever get sick? Or do you think the honey that they make stops them getting sick? Like, are bees immortal because they just swing around in honey all the time?
Well, no, bees aren't
immortal. They don't swim in honey.
They die.
No, they don't swim in honey.
But and to be immortal, they do die. Like,
doesn't the queen bee swim in honey? Isn't that like the point? They like.
What about
they
your
put a lot
wings?
of...
I'm not falling for your shitty bait this early in the morning. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. Just shut up and let me continue my story.
Go on.
So I was making my cup of tea, and lemon also generally is used in a lot of throat remedies. Okay, so I learned something new in terms of the chemistry composition of lemon juice today, because I added it to my tea whilst it had milk in, and it curdled the milk.
Yeah, it fucks it up.
Separated. Yeah, it fucked up the proteins. It denatured it, or whatever the fuck it's called.
Denatured.
I think that's the right term.
Yeah, you denature enzymes. You probably denature proteins as well. I don't know.
And it fucked it up, and the whole thing was filled with solids. And I was like, whoa, this is weird. So I had to pour it out and make a new one. So that's why it took longer for me to get sat down today. But I learned a new thing today, is that lemon juice, which I've got in my fridge, lovely bloke across the street squeezed 10 lemons for me into a
it's
container.
Fresh lemon juice. It's not concentrate.
That shit fresh.
It's from that market you go to?
Yeah.
Oh.
Can you explain how you managed to wrangle the fucking owner of a shop to freshly squeeze 10 lemons for you into a jar?
Sure.
What's
I
that?
walked into his store. So I'm sort of at the end of my illness almost, but my throat infection has complicated now into holes in my throat. So I've just got open wounds in my throat, on my tonsils and my throat.
And you just have to wait until they heal.
Essentially, yes. So I've just been essentially. I mean, I can eat solids now, but it's still painful.
If you eat liquids, does it like pool in the holes in your throat?
No. It's just like, but essentially, I'm drinking like honey and lemon concoctions, hot toddies as well. Like hot toddies are legit. I've just been making them as well and drinking them. Whiskey, honey, lemon, hot water goes on a treat. Disinfects the throat and stuff. Yeah, all good shit. So I needed lemon juice. So I bought the honey, I bought the whiskey. I went on a little adventure outside for the first time in like a week. I stepped outside. Went to try and find lemon juice, and the guy was like, "No, we don't have lemon juice." And it was around 8 p.m. Right, the shop's like nearing close time in about an hour, 2 hours. The owner of the store comes out. He's like, "No, we don't have lemon juice." But some guy is asking for it. We've got a shipment coming in. He's like, "But if you want, I can squeeze the lemons for you." And I was like, "Oh, this is some weird Armenian shit. Like, you don't get this kind of service anywhere else, you know."
No,
like,
I've never heard of that before.
This is like some fucking top tier service. And I was like,
"Wow,
okay, I can fuck with it." And he was like, "How many lemons you want?" I'm like, "Let's go with 10, you know, because I know 10? You don't get much juice out of lemons, right? You like, unless you're doing it in like a machine, you're not going to extract all the juices." And
how was he doing it? Just putting them in his hand and pressing
fucking them. Hand press it. And they're like a little machine. He cut them in half, put it in a machine, fucking squeezed it with his Armenian daddy energy.
Oh, it's like the plant.
Armenian daddy energy.
And
like
10 of them,
right?
Jeez.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, yeah.
It's like, and squeezed it. And 10 of them got me like a nice little cup full of lemon juice. And I've just been slowly using that. I've been putting it in hot toddies. I tried to put it in my tea just then, but it curdled the milk, so I'm never doing that again.
You get a similar effect if you ever put water with melted chocolate. It fucks it up completely. Like, you have to be so careful not to even get a drop of water in melted chocolate. Otherwise, It just ruins the whole thing. Yeah, it loses...
Does it separate the oil?
I don't actually know what the chemical process behind it is. I've never been interested enough to look, but it fucks it all up.
Well, you know, I was looking up... I looked up something just because I was curious, like, does the queen swim in honey, right?
Yeah.
And then I find out that sometimes you have to requeen a honey beehive. Like a queen can disappear,
Just
or
fucks
she could.
So it's like
Yeah,
a
she
ritual.
Yeah. So
Start dancing and just like
yeah. So I found out you can requeen a honey beehive. This is crazy. I was reading this as Bren was talking. This article was posted just March 18th. It was just updated.
Okay, but what does the process of requeening look like?
Apparently, so you have to...
They pick the most eligible bachelorette?
The first step in requeening your hive is to buy a newly mated queen bee.
Yeah.
Contact your local
Where the fuck do you buy a queen bee from?
Wait a minute.
I actually know a lot about this. I'm not going to lie.
Contact your local beekeeping association to find a local queen, which is always the best choice.
They
Sometimes,
sell them.
if you live in a rural area, that will mean having a queen shipped to you from across the state from a honeybee supplier.
This is super common. This is super common. And do you know how I know this? When I used to work at Tesco's, I've got a story to tell you. Fuck me.
Yeah.
Holy moly. I just remembered
Madness.
this. When I worked at Tesco's once, again, everyone who works in the Tesco's, they don't know technology. They don't know how it works. And there's a photo machine normally at the front of a supermarket store, right, where you take passport photos and shit. Constantly, this thing would break down, and they had no idea who to call. They would call in the people, but they come in like a couple of days later. So often they just fucking ask me, because I work in the tech department and I fix people's laptops. They're like, "Oh, could you fix it?" I'm like, "Sure, I'll give it a look, but I don't know. Like, give me the keys." And it would often end up just me replacing the paper. Like, quite literally replacing the printer paper.
Imagine the incompetence of the rest of the staff.
I know, it's phenomenal. Shout out to Tesco employees everywhere. I'm sure not all of you are like that, but I have some stories to tell you about Tesco's, like, for another day. Like, some absolute pure papega shit from Tesco's. Like, it's phenomenal. But I end up going up to the machine, and there's an old classic Gloucester farmer, scruffy as fuck. He's wearing like a jumper that he's had for 20 years. It's got holes in it. He's got like an unshaven grey beard. He's like tanned as fuck because he's out all the time. And he's talking to me, and he's trying to print off pictures of his bees. And from when he visited his sons in Australia, who have just set up their own beekeeping company in Australia. And he's got the pictures, and he's trying to take them and use them in an insurance claim to print them off, because apparently the bees have died off. There was a big issue in Australia at the time where the disease was ravaging the bee colonies.
We should ask Mitch about that.
Yeah, we should. But we were trying to print them off, and it wasn't working.
But wait a second. Just to pause. How does having pictures of bees in any sense prove that you owned the bees and they died? Like, how is the picture even relevant?
No.
Because you could just find pictures of bees.
There was issues with the hives themselves that he bought from a company.
So it was pictures of the problem.
Pictures of the hive and dismantling them and seeing where the issue was.
I thought he'd like taken pictures of a bunch of bees and was like, "See, I owned bees."
No.
How else would I have a picture of a bee?
No. But this guy, and we got chatting, and I shit you not, I came to him at 6 p.m. I finished my shift at 10 p.m. I was there for 4 hours trying to print off this guy's pictures. Oh, what the fuck have you done?
Okay, for anyone who's an audio listener, Reinforce has just closed his window, presumably to try and change the light balance, and it's just a black hole where Johnny used to be.
Johnny, your light was fine.
No, but I got sun in my eyes.
Okay, well, you are now pitch black.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, dear God. Oh, you're so exposed.
The FPS is like 2 now as well.
What is this Papega program?
Oh, my
okay.
So
I was chatting with the dude.
Go ahead.
And he was like telling me about his sons in Australia, just his life story. I don't think he got out much. But he owned bees around Gloucestershire, where I lived. And he ended up liking me so much, and he was showing me his website that looked like it was built in the 1990s. And he was like, "Can you help me build another one?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, fuck yeah. I've never built a website, but I'm pretty sure I could do it."
Why did you just agree to build a website for this bee farmer you'd only just met?
Because by this point, I'd been chatting to him for a couple of hours about his family, about his company.
Hours?
Yeah. Like I said, I was trying to fix this, and I was just chatting with him for hours, like just trying to fix this shit. Because he was a nice guy. I was like, I don't want to leave you.
How much spare time does he have as well? Isn't he? Is he not a busy?
More importantly, it must
farmer?
have been a slow day at Tesco. That's what it must have been.
Well, I was just another story. Again, we're gonna diverge here. I was known to be king of the dossers in Tesco's.
I don't even know what DOSes means.
King of the skivers.
King of not doing anything when you're supposed to be doing
not doing
something.
anything when you're supposed to be doing something. I was just talking literally in DMs right now to my friend Matt Bailey, who's an artist, pretty popular. He's got like 500,000 followers on Instagram, and we both worked at Tesco's at the same time.
What?
And we both were just dossers. Like he would just like practice his artwork. I would go on the iPad and watch Dota 2 videos.
That Tesco's must have produced more international talent than most schools in Gloucester.
Yeah, yes, it did. It genuinely did. It genuinely did. That's phenomenal, isn't it? But we would just doss around a lot. But that's aside the point.
Wait a minute. You made him a website.
No, I never actually made it.
Wow.
But I offered to make it, and he never got back to me. Like I gave him my email and my phone number, but he never.
He probably didn't know how to use email.
Probably, yes, yeah. He's very, very lacking in the technological department upstairs.
Wow.
But yeah, and I got talking to him for so long and trying to fix it, and I couldn't end up doing it for him. But after 4 hours, he offered me a job in his bee, working for him, harvesting bees. So in an alternate reality, and I seriously considered taking it, because at the time, this is like during my depression point where I was like, I hated life, I'd failed my schooling, and this guy had just offered me this weird fucking job out of nowhere. And I was like, I'm seriously considering taking this.
Why didn't
you? Why didn't you?
The thing that put me off was that I have hay fever. So I wouldn't have done well in the fields.
Oh, that's fucking incredible! This sounds like a side quest in an RPG game. Like this sounds like a side quest in Oblivion.
It gets even weirder, bro. It gets even weirder. This guy was showing me pictures of the conditions. He's like, "Oh, I've got tons of like employees that come there. These guys were illegal immigrants."
Okay.
I eventually figured out these are illegal immigrants that he was keeping. He was directly contributing because essentially he needs cheap labor, but you don't get that because of the labor laws in the UK. So people don't realize this, but a lot of the produce you're getting is essentially off the back of cheap illegal labor. Like pretty much across the board.
If you live in Gloucester.
No,
in
the
UK
as well.
California's got a huge problem with it as well.
Yeah.
I'm never buying honey again.
He was showing me these pictures of his conditions, like trying to convince me to live there. He's built these like makeshift houses on his land in rural Gloucestershire, and it doesn't have internet. It's got plumbing, and it's got a light, and it's got like 2 people to a room. But and he was showing me pictures of them, and it's just like, yeah, and this is whatever the fuck his name is, generic name 1. I can't think of anything at the moment.
No,
he was showing me pictures of them like smiling. And I'm saying, oh, look how happy they are. You come work for me, come work for me. My sons have gone off to Australia. And he was like selling me this idea that eventually I'm going to be taking over this bee farm, this bee company for him.
Wow.
The dream,
you really got scammed. I mean, this guy's recruitment process is illegal immigrants and Tesco workers with low intelligence. It's incredible.
Yeah. Well, he liked me because I was intelligent, because I knew how to change the printer paper.
Yes.
So I was already a step above.
You had, in fact, failed right in front of him, though. That time you had failed to fix.
Well, I could see Bren being like the creative director behind like a bee or honey organization.
Yeah,
I could just see Bren being like part of this huge organization, and they're just like, "Hey, Bren, we need to change up honey. Like, we need to revitalize the industry. We need to make something different, And Bren just like walks around. Yeah, and he just like puts artificial flavors in the beehives, and there's like cocoa, honey, and there's just
that wouldn't fly these days.
What do you mean would it fly?
I think
hot
Bren,
sauce honey.
It wouldn't fly these days.
I think this is like an anime. You know what I mean? Like this is like such an anime situation. But not one of those like action animes, but it's like one of those like social drama animes where like
slice of life.
Slice of life animes. Oh my god, there was this one anime I used to watch about a kid who worked on the farm. right? And I totally like imagine that this is the same thing with Bren. He's like walks into a Tesco, meets this old random man, and then he gets there and gets into weird, kooky, wild adventures, meets this girl, turns out she's a cock tease, and then there's just all these other things that are going on. And then like the end of the anime is Bren opening up his own bee farm where they sell hot sauce honey.
This don't employ any illegal immigrants.
You forgot about some like 10-second period of hentai with a bee queen.
Yes, of course. No, that's required. If it's an anime, you have to. I've seen Food Wars. You would definitely
Food Wars.
You would definitely
I set you off on a wrong path. Recently, I've been watching a lovely slice of life anime because it's like I love comfy animes where you get into bed and you're just like, oh, this is like curing.
What is the name of it? Tell me.
Usagi Drop. Usagi Drop. It's about like
sound promising.
It's like a 30-year-old guy, right? And then like his grandfather dies, and he goes to like the funeral, and he finds out that his grandfather has had a kid with like his mate. And in Japan, it's like super frowned upon. It's like brings shame to the family, and the whole family. He's just like watching from the sidelines as it's going on. Turns away this small child who's like 6, like doesn't know what's going on, and he decides it's like a spur of the moment thing. 30-year-old bachelor who's like a working man in Japan. Again, very important. Like you're supposed to sacrifice everything for the job, for the company. And he decides to take on this kid, and it's just following his life of trying to raise his child as a single adult.
Dude, that's crazy. I've actually been watching this one anime called March Comes In Like a Lion.
I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is.
So it's basically about dude, the name, it means, to me, it means literally nothing. Because like I'm just very confused about why it's titled that. Yeah. But it's basically about a kid who is like really depressed. And I haven't gotten to that part yet, but he actually is a professional shogi player.
What is shogi?
Shogi is basically Japanese chess.
Oh, essentially. Okay. Right.
Yeah. So he's a professional shogi player, 17 years old, and he like lives in this like small apartment complex and is friends with this like little family, but the girl works as a hostess at a restaurant, and there's like some weird relationship thing there. It's really interesting. It's definitely interesting. Slice of life animes are pretty tight.
We're the only weebs in this call, Goldenboy.
Yeah.
No, I think anyone should watch it. I think anyone should just watch slice of life animes. Like it's just a TV show. It's a TV show about nothing. It's like watching Master of None on Netflix or Love, right? Like they're just slice of life shows. They don't really mean anything. They don't do anything. It's just
they just make you feel good.
Bren, I need to tap into your bee knowledge again, though, because something's been bothering me ever since we brought up this discussion about re-beeificating.
Hold on a second. Allow me to just go in real fast, because while he does that, moving on, though, remember, you got to remove the old queen.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Now, for this hive, apparently there was a living but poorly laying queen bee who had to be removed from the beehive. And then you can keep her alive, which is like so dark and horrible for a while, in case the other queen doesn't take or use her to split off another hive. Most beekeepers kill queens that they remove. My word. If your queen isn't marked, look for the circle of workers that surround the queen. She won't be stripped like the other bees, and she will be slightly longer and thinner in the abdomen. Wow. Moving on.
Okay, but here's the big question: why? What I don't get is, where are they getting this fresh produce of fantastic queen bees from? How do you grow a queen bee?
Because I found the website.
Genetics.
What's all right? What do you mean?
I found the website.
You found the farmer dude's website. So what? Yes. He eventually got somebody else to build a website for him.
Yep, it's a different website now. It's not made in the 90s. Where do you want the link?
Discord.
In the document.
Oh, okay.
So are we going to report him to the IRS or?
Well,
I mean,
the IRS
literally,
wouldn't have any jurisdiction.
This shit happens all the time. Like in Australia, they get around it by using students and like backpackers, because they're not really applicable to labor laws. Like I've got 2 of my mates right now in Australia working on a farm for like fuck all money. Okay, that's how Australia gets around the labor laws.
Allegedly, Bren, whilst making no accusations, is saying that this might be the same person.
Yeah, I think it is.
Hey, Gloucester. Yeah.
Honestly,
Meadow,
someone did
Henley
a stand-up
Bank,
job
Green
with
Lane.
this website. I don't think you could have done this.
No,
Yo,
I
this
couldn't.
website's a banger. Yeah, no, if you would have done this website, it probably would look like Cliff Notes.
Where is it?
The
I would
photography
use
needs some
I would use like
improvement.
WordPress or some shit.
Yeah, WordPress. It would've
But
been
they
WordPress.
if you go to the shop, you can buy bees.
You can buy bees, yeah.
Yes,
So
yeah.
you
can
scroll
buy
down
a
the
queen bee,
website and it says-
£45.
Yeah, you scroll down the
for a queen
website, it
bee.
says, our bees and queens. We produce and import extremely high-quality bees and queens. Our queens are well known for collecting large amounts of honey. As if they can influence... How would they possibly be able to influence that?
Selective breeding.
They can't selectively breed a queen. How do you breed a queen in the first place? Isn't it just the case that there are a bunch of different bees that can all become queens based on the pheromones or something that are...
I don't even want to know the factual answer to this. I just want to believe it's like a Pokemon scenario and like 3 bees just come together and just like, I'm a queen, and you just...
Like Autochess, you have to have three of them and they level up into a queen bee.
Just out of thin air, just like wings and just like whatever queen features.
This is beautiful. For 10 grand, you can buy bees for business. 25 brand new standard national hives. Comes with a complete new Hoffman frames and a young mated Carnolian queen with brood eggs covered in bees. Everything you need to start you on the road to running your own beekeeping business.
I don't understand how bees for business is 9.5 grand and a fully working hive is only 360
The 25 working hives should return you about 1 ton of honey. On average, a jar of honey sells for around £4.20, $4.20.
$4.20.
As there is 2,240 pounds in a ton. That's 9,408 pounds per season. Plus, you'll have the bees ready for the next year as long as you have been managing them well.
So I think we got to own a bee farm.
We're on to a moneymaker here.
Okay, but it costs you 9.4 grand to buy the kit, and you get... Wait, no. Wait, what?
You've got to manage them as well. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, but you see, that's the thing, right? Like, okay, so their math makes sense, but there's still a lot regarding managing 25 hives.
Why would I ever buy something for the exact price it's supposed to make me over the course of the year? That way you can only make a profit from year 2 onwards. Like, but not even that, because it doesn't even factor in the like actually managing the hive itself. I don't understand why you can add bees for business to your basket for 9.4 grand.
I think you're much better off buying it individually, doing your research, building up slowly over time, you know?
Yeah, probably. Buy one bee, start out.
Yeah.
buy another, see how it works, see if they get on. What I love is that it says queens are available to buy individually and in bulk. Why the fuck would you want more than one queen?
Because if you have multiple hives.
But why would that... See, this is what I don't get. If you have multiple hives, how the fuck do they not have their own queens? And where are these extra queens coming from? Are people ripping good queens out of hives to sell them to other hives?
Yeah, so what happens is...
Them with a bad queen?
No. So here's what happens. I know
There can
this.
only be as many queens as there are.
I know this, Josh.
I
know this. I have knowledge of this. I have the critical information regarding bees. So what happens is the hive has a queen and it has the colony that works around it. But queens get produced, and what happens is eventually these queens migrate with a selection of workers and drones and create a new hive.
Well,
so they are
that
producing
makes
new
sense.
queens, and they just remove them from the thing. I don't know how they remove them. I believe it's like preliminary to like maybe the hatching stage. Again, I'm ignorant with this part of how they actually transport.
I think you can do
queen and put in a new queen.
Yeah, I'm ignorant on how they even transport it, because you can't do it when the queen is hatched.
No,
right?
you can.
Because...
You can. You totally can. Yeah, I don't think, because I don't think the queen becomes the queen when it's hatched. I think they develop into the queen. My dad did it
surely
with
they hatch with queen genetics.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think it's a process of, there are a lot of different bees that could all become queen, and by a process of what is it? I think it's like a hormone thing where one of them develops into the queen, and that suppresses the others from becoming queen. Anyway, who knows?
Yo, I'm reading some
queens
shit about
are developed from
how
larvae.
honey is made. Yo, we're
they're special.
drinking regurgitated honey poo.
We are straight up eating regurgitated honey poo. Do you mean bee
it's
poo?
delicious.
Or bee poo, honey poo.
I mean,
whatever
honey,
it is.
honey can't shit, as far as I'm aware. So I don't
You know
think
what I
it's
mean?
honey.
Like we're having poo. That's what we're having.
Right, but I mean that's the same as eggs, right? What is an egg essentially? It's a chicken period.
Yeah.
Wow! Oh, what? You put it like that?
What do you mean? I mean, but that's what it is, Johnny.
No, but when you put it like that, it sounds a chicken period. Are you serious?
Yeah, I mean that's what it is. It's an unfertilized product of the reproductive system in chickens.
Yeah, but
I
it
just
doesn't
think that's
sound
crazy.
good.
What? Well, I mean,
Tastes delicious.
they taste lovely. It's all just in your
But
head.
like, don't we think it's like kind of crazy though? So, all right. So the interesting part about this is that the milk, or sorry, I'm gonna say something about milk. But first, honeys, we're not the only ones that consume it. Obviously, other creatures
Bears fucking love honey.
Yeah, bears consume it. So it's very clear
Winnie
that
the
this
Pooh.
thing that Winnie the Pooh that attracts other creatures, or other like living beings.
Yes.
But I was reading about milk, and it's actually like pretty crazy when you think about it. Like, what other living species consumes another living species' milk? We're the only ones that do that.
We're also, I mean, we also are the only ones that make cheese out of it as well, but I don't think that's an argument against eating cheese.
But there have been cases in nature where that does happen, where another species will consume another species' milk.
Only to live though, not for a snack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to live. Yeah.
I mean, we've made milk an industry and a part of our like.
But why do you think we domesticated cows? To live. It was a source of nutrients during hard times that we could consume. That's why originally all Homo sapiens were lactose intolerant, and eventually we evolved to be able to stomach milk.
Yeah,
and then that gave us an evolutionary advantage.
That's so dope.
Does that give us an evolutionary advantage? Because
you had an advantage
if you
over
don't
people.
drink milk.
You had an advantage over the people that couldn't drink milk, so you had more nutrition, so you could survive maybe the harsh winter or whatever. Yeah.
What are those animals called with like spikes on their back? Do you know what I'm talking
Hedgehogs.
about? Hedgehogs, yeah. See? People, this is a lesson to be learned. Hedgehogs were not evolved with cows in mind, so they're lactose intolerant. Don't feed them milk.
Yeah, why is it a thing to feed... I don't know who started these rumors of like hedgehogs love milk and ducks love bread and shit. Well,
just killing them.
Ducks and bread is terrible as well.
Yeah,
just killing these animals. Yeah,
yeah. But how did that become the norm? You know, like how did
Because that's what you had on farms.
4chan started feeding bread to ducks. I mean, if that's the case, they deserve a lot more credit than I'm giving them.
That's wild.
No, well, that's what you had on farms, right? You had milk
and bread,
and you had bread.
But, I mean, you also have vegetables on farms a lot of the time, and vegetables are better for probably both.
Yeah, but if you see some, like, humans generally prefer bread over veggies. So they're like, hey, I'm going to give this soft piece of food to a hedgehog.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, ducks look like they fucking love bread. I would not be surprised to see a duck kill another duck over bread.
Dogs do love chocolate.
It's really bad for them.
Yeah.
Like, don't feed dogs chocolate.
Yeah.
What do you... I wonder if there's because chocolate's poisonous to dogs, right? But
yes.
I wonder what the critical amount of chocolate a human could eat before dying. Like, I bet there is an amount.
Josh, it sounds like a challenge for World Cup 2019.
Content. God, sounds like content.
I just want to see you drinking
after every
chocolate.
break. It's just Josh eating.
Oh, here we go.
Chocolate.
Here we go. I've actually found it. I found it.
Oh, put a link. All
right. So
what is the critical mass?
So here's the thing. The chocolate poisoning is called theobromine poisoning, right? It's an overdose to the chemical that's found in chocolate, tea, cola, that kind of stuff. And the lethal doses for cats, dogs, rats, mice, these are all known. Now, in humans, cocoa beans contain about 1.2% theobromine by weight. So 28 grams of raw cocoa contains approximately 0.3 grams of theobromine. Processed chocolate tends to have smaller amounts. Okay. In general, the amount of theobromine found in chocolate is small enough that chocolate can be safely consumed by humans with a negligible risk of poisoning.
But how much until get poisoned?
That hasn't told me anything. Okay, so theobromine poisoning in humans.
Can we just during...
What is it, Johnny?
I don't know. We need to set up a weekend where Joshua just drinks chocolate all weekend.
Well, I wouldn't do it if I... What the hell?
We need to set up a weekend where we try and kill Josh.
Yeah.
Okay, so it said...
We've tried to kill each other before. What? We've done some dumb shit. I mean, not apparently, me, but you guys have done some dumb shit.
It is almost impossible for the average human to die by chocolate consumption.
That's
almost impossible.
Almost.
Wouldn't rule it out.
Wouldn't rule it out. There's probably some dude in the world who just like eats chocolate. Like there's people who just eat pizza every day. There's probably someone who just eats chocolate every day for every meal and just lives off that. And as such, he's developed some theobromine tolerance.
Yeah, he now lives off theobromine.
Yeah.
I think they die sooner of diabetes than they would have.
Hold on, I got it. For humans, theobromine is considered toxic at a dose of 1,000 milligrams of theobromine per kilogram of body weight.
That's like 10 times more than dogs.
You would reach the level that toxicologists call the LD50 level, meaning the point in which 50% of the test population showed signs of illness. So if we say that an average human weighs 165 pounds or 75 kilograms to reach the level of toxicity for theobromine, you would need to eat 75,000 milligrams of theobromine.
Okay, but how much theobromine is in chocolate? I mean, I just want a number of chocolate bars, honestly.
Hold on. I have it. Okay, so, of course, different types of chocolate contain varying amounts of theobromine. On average, milk chocolate contains far less than dark. Milk and other highly processed chocolates contain about 2.4 milligrams of toxin per gram of chocolate. Dark chocolate contains about 5.5 milligrams per gram.
Well, I only eat dark chocolate because I'm not a pleb.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, I mean, you have terrible taste.
And chocolate
Baker's chocolate,
so terrible.
16 milligrams per gram. So a typical adult human who needs to eat about 75,000 milligrams to be a toxic level, that's roughly 711 regular size Hershey's milk chocolate bars or 7,084 Hershey chocolate kisses or 332 standard size Hershey's dark chocolate bars.
Okay.
So
that's a lot of chocolate.
It's not possible. No. And dying from chocolate overdose would not be the most surprising thing a human was capable of, but Caldwell's never seen a case.
I'm just saying, right? So
there you go.
A family took it on themselves to just eat chocolate forever and breed for like hundreds of years. They would be infused with theobromine venom. Like,
what are you talking about? First of all, they'd have to be so incestual, this family.
You're right. Oh, no, you're right. Bro, Johnny, we're not playing D&D. You don't need to roleplay as Johnny the Papega. My God.
I didn't think about that. No, I'm just saying how cool it would be if a human had, like, venom, like animals.
No. But venom isn't just... Wait, how do you think venom works? Do you think venom's just a product of your teeth?
No, I think it's a product of tolerancing the venom itself and utilizing it for
no snakes
behavior.
And shit have like venom glands that run into their teeth, and when they bite, they inject venom into
theobromine glands.
Okay, that might be a little too far. I think that's.
I mean, you're gonna. The other thing is that you're also going to get like really nauseous by the time you get like a pound of chocolate in your body. So there's just no way.
No, it wouldn't happen. I mean,
you get used to it.
Eating 350 dark chocolate bars. I was manage 200
Johnny's
on a
idea
good
though?
Sure. It'd be pretty expensive. And climate change is about to extinguish chocolate.
Was your idea, Johnny, to infuse a snake with theobromine and then have the snake become a chocolate snake?
No, but I'm just saying that would be a cool idea to just have a chocolate venom creature.
Johnny, what did you just say? Global warming's wiping out chocolate?
Yeah.
Like, it's going to all melt?
No, you fucking Papega. That's not how it works.
Well, how does it work then? What are you talking about?
Will chocolate become extinct due to climate change?
Okay.
Here we go. Where do I link this for you?
In the Google document. Where did you find this? Why is this even something that you were looking at?
And here we go.
Wait, where is this?
Unfortunately, cacao trees don't thrive in the temperate climate of the continental United States. Okay. Chocolate grows best in the places where it would quickly melt in your hands. Over the next several decades, those places may grow warmer, drier, and less suitable for cacao cultivation. That's a hard word to say.
Okay, right. But the entire concept of this article is that 2-year-old report from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration was overblown.
Oh,
we can meet at the middle.
I mean, it literally has embedded a Twitter link from Snopes saying chocolate won't be leaving us anytime soon, no matter what you might have heard. Thank goodness.
Another one from climateaction.org.
Okay.
Scientists urge action to save chocolate from climate change. Disappear by 2050.
Here we go.
I also love this. You can tell climatologists fucking hate their lives, because this is a genuine quote from climatologist Eric Holthaus. So it's talking about hiking guacamole prices because avocados were getting fucked by climate change. And he's like, once it hits Chipotle, people think, wow, we better do something about this climate change thing. You can see all these satellite photos of melting Arctic ice, read reports about changes in the jet stream. But when it starts hitting Chipotle, that's when people pay attention. You can tell that he just is sick of people's shit.
I mean, who wouldn't be, man? It's really annoying.
I should invest in a cocoa farm.
No, we should all invest in a bee farm.
Yeah, we should invest in a beehive.
All right,
so bee farms threatening, or like honey threatening extinction?
Since we are a part of the video game community.
Okay, all right, Alex, drag us back into video gaming.
Let's talk about Underlords, right? Underworld,
yeah, okay.
Underlords.
All right, I'm
okay. So this is a continuous conversation from last week, where I didn't know jack shit about Autochess. And I was at Rocket League Finals, and I was there hanging out with a few of the guys. And one of the casters, Wavepunk, comes up to me, and Wave's like, hey, have you tried out Autochess at all? I said, dude, I haven't. And then the other analyst, Gibbs, like, bro, just download Underworlds. It's available right now. I was like, oh, really? So I downloaded on my phone, and I was just sitting in the player room right before we were about to go live, and I just was enamored. I was blown away by this game.
It's great.
This game is really good.
Yeah, a week ago when we did the last podcast, me and Johnny had never played it before either. And I don't know about you, Johnny, but I have been playing a lot of this game. I mean, I haven't been playing Underlords. I've been playing Autochess, the other version, but I've played a couple of games of Underlords.
So have you been playing Autochess on your phone, or have you been playing it on computer?
Yeah, on my phone.
I've only played Underlords.
On my phone.
Only Underlords, yeah.
Because I've been playing Underlords on my phone. And it's not that good on the phone, honestly. Like, there's a lot of things I need. On the phone, there's just a lot of things that I think Underlords is good, but I think the functionality of the game on the phone is not very well done. There are a lot of things, and also just a lot of things in general that are like a little frustrating as a new player and someone who's never played MOBAs before. Like, I have no attachment to any of these characters, so I don't know what they do. I think the only one I know is Sniper, and that's it, only because I remember seeing it and being like, oh, that's dumb. It's the name Sniper. And that was like literally it, right? So it'd be nice if the game was more in tune with telling me what this character does quicker.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of like little details, and I get it. Like, there's the devil's in the details. But dude, like, you have 25 seconds, 30 seconds to make a decision. You have all this crap going on, and I guess match the symbols, match the different symbols so you can get synergies. But it's just confusing. It's just like,
well, that's what separates the wheat from the chaff, unfortunately.
No, it does not. No,
yes,
it does not.
You need to be able to think very quickly on the fly about synergies, about what you want to build. Again, you're given a limited amount of time. I've been sweating this game. I've been sweating Underlords. I'm now like, I don't think the ranking system matters or works that much, but since they've introduced it, I'm now pretty close to almost the highest rank. So I've been sweating this shit. I'll see you at ESL.
My thing is this. I get it that is, I mean, I don't think that is part of the skill. I think, if anything, that's just a poor design decision. Watch the next game that actually makes it easier for people to understand it. That's the game that becomes the one that blows up.
Oh, have any of you played Teamfight Tactics, the Riot version?
No,
I don't like the little freaking little dude that walks around.
That's weird, annoying. Right? Yeah,
it just bothers me. I'm a fan of synergy. I like synergy. I like things being very. What's the word I'm looking for? Just like I kind of like not OCD, but
right, clean, like structured,
clean and organized. And Underlords looks really clean and really organized.
Yeah.
But then you see this little freaking minion or dude walking around, and it's very frustrating. I don't like.
It's got a lot of polish, but yeah, I think I'll be sticking to the Valve version, or the other one is the one that I've been playing the most of.
Yeah.
Why do you guys think it's getting so big? Because we talked about it last week, but now that we all have an understanding of it at a moderately deep level, why is Teamfight Tactics, and as of right now, by the way, Teamfight Tactics has been the hotter game. It is sitting at 108,000 viewers on Chess.
Yeah,
on Twitter. Or Twitter.
Because it's the most recent release. It's the new hotness, you know?
I think it's
but
also
they both kind of came out at the same time, though.
No. Underlords was out for like 2 weeks before. Autochess has been out for Lord knows how long. I mean, there was a time when it was just Autochess, obviously, but a lot of the streamers that were playing Underlords, like the big ones, Kriparian, Hearthstone streamers, stuff like that, they're all playing Teamfight Tactics right now because it's a new one out. So
I think as well, it's because League of Legends has such an enormous player base, and a lot of those people are checking out this new game because it's the second ever release from Riot. Right? It's like there's actually a lot of weight behind Riot making this game because they normally don't make games. So I think people are excited to check it out and give it a try and see how it works. Probably but also because
it's not available though, right, to the public.
I have actually no idea because, as I say, I haven't tried to play it. I think it's just exciting for people to go and check out what's happening with it. I think the game itself, like the concept of the game, is really good. I feel like it's solvable in its current state. I feel like you'll get a meta that will be fairly static and require
really
updates and stuff. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I haven't played it enough yet, but it feels like the units the shop offers is so random that you sort of just have to go with whatever is offered.
No, because the thing is, you can always sell those units later on and get back to your original build order. Because there's no punishment for selling the unit for its original cost. Like
you always get back your original cost.
Yeah, you always unless you level them up.
Hold on. Just a note real fast. So Teamfight Tactics open beta goes live in North America June 26th. So when this podcast is live, the open beta will be out to the world. So
I think there should be a punishment for selling, but it also kind of
well, there is a punishment for selling.
Yeah. Well,
if you upgrade the units, like early on, you need to sell to build a proper synergy, so you don't get punished from selling upgraded level 1 units or level 1 units or whatever.
The thing is, it kind of ruins the competitive integrity, though, because you're like, I was unlucky and I got a bad.
No, that's good.
No,
I mean, you don't want to be fucked by RNG. Like you want to be able to sell later on so that you can get back to your build order. But you buy units that are individually good at the beginning, and then you sell them for better synergy as it goes on.
That's what I was implying. Essentially, that you want to have the ability to go for the best allegiance, because otherwise you can just blame RNG. So
yeah, for sure.
Okay, so
I agree with the statement.
I'm going to link this to you guys, and So I may stand corrected in a statement I made earlier before we started recording. Teamfight Tactics will be bigger than anything else. And now I linked the trailer that they just put out. I messed that up. Hold on. Sorry. Synergy. It's got to be all right. So, so if you look at the trailer,
Jesus,
there's something that they did in the trailer that was actually like really slick.
Okay.
So for one, we start the trailer off. I don't know if you're running the trailer right now, but
what, from the beginning or from 50
the beginning?
seconds?
From the beginning. From
All
the
right.
beginning. Sorry, from the
I'll
beginning.
Turn the volume down and I'll play it.
Yeah. So if you look at the trailer, right, immediately you get that identification with League of Legends.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So this is Garen, right? I think is his name, the spin guy.
I don't think
know.
any of us play League.
Anyway, sorry, I'm not too familiar. Anyway, as soon as if you pause it, when the little penguin dude comes out,
Yeah.
that right there is the moneymaker, right?
Mm.
The little penguin and the little cat dude, when he sees his opponent, that's a moneymaker. And what they're doing is they're creating this very like cute culture around this game. But you know, still moderately fun because it's obviously meant to be like cool. You're playing with all your favorite League of Legends characters and they're all beating the crap out of each other.
Well,
but then they actually show the map, which
so
to me
this is something that
is
the
the
mod,
more interesting part.
this is something that the mod did, and for some reason it went backwards with Underlords. And I don't know why. But like, there's so many monetization aspects of it. Like your little avatar that you run around, like that was in Dota Autochess, was your courier, as in the mod, and they put it in the Autochess being made currently by the Chinese company, but it's not an Underlords. And I don't know why. Like that's just a no-brainer. Like you can sell so many skins for that little fucking avatar, and for the map as well. You can sell skins for the map when people visit your map or when you do whatever. Like it's a bit of a no-brainer. But they have said the Underlords. This is the crazy thing right now with Valve making this game, is because Riot have made it and it's getting so much traction. You can feel the pressure being applied to Valve right now because they are constantly tweeting and they are putting out an update almost every single day for the Underlords regarding balance, regarding UI changes, just trying to perfect it. And they've said that they want to do it so like you can see all of the maps at once. They want to do it so that there's an avatar at some point. Like
the Riot one is certainly more polished, but being polished doesn't mean that you have a better game.
I think it just comes down to demographics of the games. I think it's interesting that League of Legends has a larger player base, in my opinion. But I feel like the Dota 2 player base caters more towards an Autochess type of game.
You think?
And I think it comes down a lot to just like the cosmetics. Like, oh, I'm a Dota 2 player. I like the look of Dota. I played Dota for a long time. I'm just going to go with Underlords. I don't see like a lot of Dota players just like, I'm going to play Teamfight Tactics.
Honestly, for the actual players themselves, they'll go wherever they find success or wherever the money is in the tournaments.
That's true. Yeah, but that's the pros.
That's only the pros, not the casuals.
I do think though that the argument about the polish doesn't necessarily mean anything. It actually does, because if you guys remember back when Fortnite came out, one of the big things that everyone took note of right away was that even though Fortnite had just come out, it ran 10 times better than PUBG did at the time, because PUBG was just an absolute dumpster fire. I mean, it was like 60 FPS, 70 FPS if you were lucky. It was bad, right?
Yeah.
Now the game is substantially better, but it was really, really bad. And then Fortnite took off because it had that level of polish that honestly was just like unmatched. The reason why H1Z1 fell apart. And then you look at Apex, and then when Apex dropped, even though like everyone's like, oh yeah, you know, the game updated so slowly, which that is a whole different issue that I think is just stupid in itself. But Apex's polish was so much better than Fortnite's at the time, because Fortnite was going through like a million different updates and a bunch of different weapons and items, and all these are like random things. And people gravitated to Apex because it worked. It worked, and it was really good. The thing was that Fortnite was so big at that point that it's like almost impossible to like overtake that. And Apex, you know, sadly enough, wasn't updating quickly enough. And that ended up leading to, you know, kind of like the positions that we find ourselves in right now. Even then, though, polish means a lot when it comes to how to market a game. And if I look at Teamfight Tactics, even with this trailer and what they're showing, there's clear polish here.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And if I'm like going through it and I'm looking through like, oh, what are some of the options that I have to play, Autochess, because I want to try these games out, everyone's going to be like Dota Underlords, Teamfight Tactics, Autochess. People are going to look at Autochess, and I'll be very honest, I opened that mobile game and spelling errors all over the place, graphical errors all over the place, a very weird UI.
Does it not? That screams to me classic mobile game. Like when I opened Autochess, I was like, "This is what I expected from mobile gaming." If I opened up Teamfight Tactics or Dota Underlords on my phone, I'd be like, "How the fuck did they get this to run on a phone?" I open up Autochess and I'm like, "Yeah, this is the shit." It's so ridiculous. Like
you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Is Underlords like by far the best Autochess mobile game, or
so there's only two right now because there's only Autochess and Underlords.
Yeah, because mobile demographic is obviously huge as well. Yeah, so you want to tap into that as soon as possible.
And I played both of them extensively, and I will say if I'm playing on the go, Underlords is a better option than Autochess. I think.
Really? I thought you just said that Underlords wasn't good on mobile.
No, because of all the other things, right?
Oh, right.
You open the game and some of the terminology and the wording is like not incorrect, but you don't understand it.
Yeah.
It was clearly made by like either a Chinese or Korean dev studio.
Yeah, it's Chinese, I think.
It's Chinese, so it's clearly made by... Oh, yeah, actually it is Chinese, because all the characters in Autochess, when you select them, all speak in Chinese.
Yes, yeah.
So...
That's what I love about it, though. It's got that it's got that quirky charm where you know that it was a ripoff. I fucking love it.
It's clearly being rushed, right? Because I think everyone's genuinely afraid of Teamfight Tactics. But that leads me to the thing I wanted to talk about, which all these games don't matter.
Okay.
You want to know why? Because I said it last week and I'll say it again. Nintendo. There is so much money to be made here, and you would be crazy if you don't make Teamfight Tactics, Autochess, Underlords, but Pokemon version.
I mean, how fucking good would that be? Since you said that, every time someone's talked to me about Autochess, I've said, how good would it be if Pokemon made a version? And every single time they just go, holy shit, I need that game in my life.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm telling you, like there is, and with the Switch being what I consider to be the most like dominant and best console ever, you can put it on PC, put it on the Switch, and put it on mobile, and you literally have a money printing machine. You're instead of it, you can customize your Pokemon trainer. You can connect it with Pokemon Go, right?
Yeah.
Like, my God.
I mean, the literal like. It was almost like this fucking game was designed for Pokemon, because when you combine 3 Squirtles together, they'd go into a Wartortle. It's just like, it makes so much sense. It even factors into the whole evolution aspect of it. It's perfect.
And some Pokemon can only evolve once, but are a little bit more powerful. Like there's so much. And then items, which you can take directly from the card game. And
I mean,
them in
how
here.
fucking good would that be? Have you guys seen the...
I'm like sad it's not even announced, because I'm like, this has to be a thing. It's so obvious. It's the most obvious game.
Yeah.
Like in
gaming history. Yeah. It really is. As soon as you hear the idea, you're like, oh my God, that must exist. And if it doesn't, the world is wrong. The world is wrong. Everybody at work for the Overwatch League is playing this new Harry Potter version of Pokemon Go as well. Yeah, that's been taking production by storm.
Yeah,
I mean, I haven't played it. I don't really know it. I'm not a big Harry Potter fan as well, but I know a lot of people have been playing it.
Harry Potter version of how the friggin' frick does that work?
So what do you capture? I think it's not so much capturing as interactions with fantastical beasts, but the main purpose of the game is going to locations like Pokestops or like gyms and doing events there. So like Matt Marcel, one of our producers, was telling me he saved Hagrid from a spider's web in the morning, and then they were like, they flashed the camera over to me and they're like, oh Josh, wait there, you're being attacked by a pixie. And I was like, fuck off, I'm trying to watch the game. but Zoe and Matt were like, yeah, there's a pixie on you. I'm like, for fuck's sake, guys, I'm trying to watch.
I can see how, that's also really good for tapping into the Harry Potter.
Yes, exactly, yeah. But it's just like, if you have a fan base, it doesn't matter that game is very much identical to Pokemon Go, just reskinned. The fact that it is reskinned just appeals to people's love of that franchise, whatever that franchise is. Which is why Pokemon would absolutely mega bang, even if it was a reskin.
A TI. Yeah. I'm sorry, I just had this idea. A TI, right? How when you pick heroes in the draft, Bren knows this as well, that they show like the heroes in front of the player booths.
Yeah, it's like augmented reality.
What if they do that with Autochess and it's just AR combating?
Oh my gosh.
Poggers, dude.
And then the damage, and then the people would be like the minions that take damage.
But even better, what if it's Pokemon? And it'd be like the games and the movies.
Bro, Mecha Pog, bro.
I've never been so excited to see genuinely well-produced tournaments ever. Holy fuck. Give PGL an Underlords license and tell them to go wild with the augmented reality.
Oh my God.
That would be so good. Wow. Holy fuck. That would be amazing.
Tweet this right now.
Patented Johnny idea.
How would you do it with 8 people?
I just tweeted about.
I think you would have one feature game, or like one feature player that you followed, or maybe you'd like dip from player to player. I don't know, but I'm sure you'd be able to.
Yeah. I just tweeted that we're recording the podcast right now, and I said, "What if Pokemon made and I added Pokemon because I'm hoping that this thing gains traction."
Yeah.
And what if Pokemon made an auto chess game? How amazing would that be? Captain Planet immediately says it would be amazing.
The greatest thing of all time.
Basically, Ash Joshi said the same thing. He said even an X-Men auto battler would be pretty sick, which I agree with. X-Men with all the mutants. But it's like Pokemon, you literally have 800 freaking Pokemon. Yeah. Like you could like open it up by region, right? So you can start with Kanto region and just start with the original 150.
Oh my God!
And then go on for 100. Right? It was the original 100, right?
I think it was 150, right?
151,
and then 151 was Mewtwo or something.
That's right. And then you do the Mewtwo pack, and then Mewtwo is now an option. And then out of there, you go into the Johto region. Oh my God! Can you imagine the money? Nintendo, get off your butt and make this freaking game, and the four of us will cast it, but we wouldn't because we all cursed Nintendo wouldn't hire us. So there you go. Oh God!
Oh my word, that would be fantastic. Honestly, fantastic,
dude. Another guy says, Eternal says, evolving a Charmander to a Charizard.
Exactly. I mean, how fucking amazing would that be? And then having it in ARG as well would just be nuts.
Another person says, Hops GG says, okay, now that you put this idea into my head, I will be obsessing over it. If it doesn't happen, you owe me $20.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I don't know about the 20, but I definitely, dude, it needs to happen, man. It needs to happen.
The thing is, Nintendo's so slow.
They are very slow.
Yeah,
they are.
Yeah.
Slow company.
Are. And that is the more frustrating part about this is that like oh my God, Johnny, you just put this picture out there. Oh God,
that's so good.
Oh,
okay, I need to show people this tweet because it's just incredible.
It's all I want. It's all I want, bro.
It really,
dude. Oh my gosh.
Autochess Esports with an augmented reality stage, but Pokemon. Please make this a thing. I mean, it should be. It really should be.
That is the play. That is actually the play.
Would that be?
I've never gotten like over 10,000 likes on Twitter, but I have a feeling that today's the day.
Today's the day.
Bro, I just think that's wild, man. And there's so much potential with it. I'm also curious too, what the like how it's like trending on YouTube and stuff as well. Like I wonder how popular. Let me look it up.
Yeah,
that's also another thing too.
I don't know whether it has a great appeal on YouTube apart from stuff
That's
like
true.
tutorials, tier lists, building. Like the supplementary content, I think would be great, but the actual game itself isn't exciting.
Surprised to see like how popular like Hearthstone YouTube channels are and that kind of stuff. Just like having lunch, I actually feel like Autochess is like perfect for that kind of stuff.
What
because
are
you
the
can also
Hearthstone videos?
you can also like fast forward during the battles and like cut great videos. And I mean, I've only just started playing it, but I actually really enjoy seeing people make decisions and rationalize behind them and make allegiances. So I can definitely see how it's like a fast forwarded game.
I think in a game like Hearthstone, though, you can have more crazy clutch moments. Because it's 1v1, and you have a read on what your opponent is doing the entire time, you can, like, make decisions and talk through the fact that you're waiting for this one card, and then it pops up, and you're on 1 HP, and you kill the other guy, and it's like, holy fuck, that was clutch as shit, or lucky as shit. In Autochess, because you're cycling through a bunch of different opponents, I don't feel like you get you just put your pieces into play.
But you do, because I had a scenario the other day. Yeah, it's towards the end when you get the big boss gamers like me, when I'm in a 1v1 with a dude and he's got the Warlock synergy perk, and that's the reason he's taking me down, is because he's got a Warlock and all of his stuff is gaining HP, and then suddenly we get hit with the item round and I top deck the one perk I need to win, and it's the Heartless perk, where it negates healing for every Heartless unit you have. And it synergizes with my human unit, my human perk, which turns my human units into Heartlesses, and it negates all of his healing, and I fucking clutch the win on 11 HP.
I understood about half of that.
But I think that's a key difference between Dota Underlords and Autochess, is that the perks allow for that stuff. In Autochess, the version that I play, it's very much... It's difficult to tell what is gaining you the win or not, because positioning changes, and because each it's not like Hearthstone where you play a card, it has an effect, and you know that effect is going to cause this, is going to do this. It's like there's a logic tree that you can wander down. In Autochess, when you have 10 pieces on the board at the end and the fight's kind of chaotic and there's only like a couple of pieces left alive on either side, a slight adjustment in positioning or a different unit in can make the difference, but you can't say like, oh, I'm playing this, it's going to make a huge difference. It's just you're playing 1 out of 10 pieces or slightly adjusting the board. But in Dota Underlords, the perks do make a huge difference.
Yeah. How does the randomness factor in too? Because it's like you're fighting against. There's no way for you to know who you're going to fight when you're going to fight them.
Yeah, unless you're in a 1v1 at the end.
There's skill in that as well, though. You've got to keep an eye on everyone's board at the same time. You need to think of statistically what your chances are, because it's random. Like, if I'm running a Mages build and I notice that there's a higher percentage of people running an Assassin's build than there is Warriors, I'll put my tanky units at the back, because I know statistically I'm more likely to run into an Assassin's user. So you can make little changes like that. So you're
like scrolling through all this, and you have 30 seconds to make these.
Yeah, you gotta look through everyone's shit and find out what they're building.
Interesting.
Early on as well, if people are building towards certain things, you don't want to be going for it because you might not know it as well. I don't know if this is the case in Underlords. It was in Autochess, but there's a pool of units. There's only like 50 one-star units of a specific type. So if a bunch of people are going for the same strategy, you're all fighting over the same pool of units. So sometimes it's better to go for something a little bit unorthodox, so you know you're going to get those.
Wait.
What game are you talking about?
This is the case for Autochess, but I don't know whether it's the case.
I don't know if it's the case for Underlords.
No, because Underlords, people can't take your units that you're offered.
No.
But were you saying there's a pool?
Yes,
there's a pool.
Everyone picks from the same pool of units.
Yeah.
And so when people are eliminated, their units go back in the pool. So it's better to scroll after someone has been eliminated if you know that they had a build that you want pieces of. Because
how are you supposed to learn this?
I mean, it's not even mentioned in the freaking tutorial.
I mean,
I don't know if it's the case in Underlords. It is in Autochess.
It is in Autochess. Yeah. That's one of the key
but it would
things
make
that
sense.
I do a lot in Autochess.
It would make sense that it would be in Underlords as well.
So I didn't even know about interest until I saw it on stream.
But interest is something that literally pops up in the game. I mean, like, it says interest. So
but when you have it. But before you do, you don't.
Right.
But when do you gain interest?
Interest is every time you hit the next 10. So at 10, you gain 1 interest, 20, you gain 2 interest, 30, you gain 3 interest, 40, you gain 4, 50 plus,
so you
gain
can
5.
just get gold rich.
Yes, it's best to sit above 50 gold as long as you don't need to do other stuff. Yeah, it's really cool. So, anyway, we've been talking about this for fucking ever.
I'm looking up some stats here that I want to share with everyone, and I put it in a doc, Google Trends. So this is over the past 30 days, right? Worldwide, bear in mind, Autochess, as expected, is dominating Teamfight Tactics and Dota Underlords. Dota Underlords and Teamfight Tactics really started to get prominent June 13, 2019. While that was going on, Autochess has just been continuing to be insanely popular. And no surprise, the regions where Autochess is popular, Vietnam, Indonesia, Turkey, Thailand, Japan, no shocker there, right?
Wait, sorry, where are you finding that? Because I can only see the US.
Okay, worldwide. Change it to worldwide.
Worldwide. Here we
YouTube,
go.
And mind you, this is YouTube search is what I'm looking at right now.
Okay, so this is what people have been looking up on YouTube in the search bar directly.
Exactly.
This makes complete sense. Dota Underlords is popular in Russia. Like, Russia is a massive market for Dota.
Yeah.
Have you changed it to YouTube?
There's a category that says worldwide past 30 days. Then you can change category.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, so what I should have at the top is worldwide, past 30 days, all categories, YouTube search.
Yeah, I put games specifically, but
I'll go for games as well so that I'm the same.
And then YouTube
Autochess is insane here.
Okay, so now I've finally got the right graph up.
Now, here's the thing, though, right? Because Autochess is the genre and the game.
Yeah.
So I wonder if it's Autochess that people are looking for, because if you also look for what people are searching for, related queries in regards to Autochess are number 1, Underlords, Dota Underlords, Autochess Origin, right? Which is the mobile game.
So the
number 4.
So the number one thing that people are searching for, along with Autochess, is League of Legends Autochess. Which suggests that they just don't know the name of the game, but they want the product.
Now, if I put Autochess Origin, right, which is the game, Autochess Origin, now this actually changes things a little bit, because it's very clear that Autochess Origin is not a trending thing.
What do you mean Origin? Why are you saying Origin?
Because that's the name of the game.
No.
The name of the game. Yes. The mobile game is called Autochess Origin.
It's just called Autochess, isn't it?
No, it's not.
All right. But nobody would be Googling Autochess Origin. Autochess Dragon Nest, maybe, like the name of the...
but the reason why I'm bringing this up, though, is because it's very interesting on how they tackled making Autochess their thing.
Right, yeah.
Because Autochess as a whole, they're dominating it, right? When you search up Autochess on Google, it'll come up with, interesting. It comes up with Dota Autochess, which is the first thing that you
it's the mod.
Get.
That's the mod.
Yeah, right? Then you get the first link, which is the Autochess official site, which leads you to Autochess Origin, which is the game that they're making that will be on the Epic Store. So right now, once this game comes on the Epic Store, Epic's going to dominate this market because of the fact that the game's called Autochess and they have the rights to that name. And the genre is also called Autochess. Crazy shit.
Yeah.
Crazy shit.
Really, really interesting.
Yeah, so looking here, so for Autochess, though, Underlords is definitely piquing everyone's interest. Dota Underlords as well. Teamfight Tactics number 4. When you go further down, Teamfight Tactics continues to pop up here. Then for Teamfight Tactics, what people are looking for is League Teamfight Tactics. So that and LOL Teamfight Tactics. Interesting little thing there. And then for Dota Underlords, it's Autochess is number 2 on the search for Dota Underlords. So this is definitely like the interest is definitely like peaking. And
no, I think there's so much more to come as well. Yeah, I mean, you said like, sure, there's a lot of FOMO and a lot of hype.
Yeah.
But when you start seeing Autochess and Underlords show up on the top ranked or top downloaded games on the Google App Store, that's when the FOMO really hits.
Or the iTunes Store, or the Apple Store. Another interesting bit, if you change the search to web search, worldwide, past 30 days, games, web search, you'll notice that on June 21st, Dota Underlords actually peaked over Autochess. And they've both hit a steady decline, but this is kind of expected. And it seems like Dota Underlords is starting to resonate with people more, but I think this search is going to matter a lot more tomorrow when Teamfight Tactics goes into open beta.
Yeah.
That is actually going to change the way that this whole thing looks like. But Asia dominates this, man. Look at this. Cambodia, number one region for Autochess. Vietnam, Thailand, Indonesia, and Japan, all for Autochess. Top 5 regions. United States, not even in the top 5. Not even in the top 10.
Yeah. It's
15.
It's so important to dominate that market, and that's what Autochess has done.
26 is where the United States is listed for Autochess. That's wild.
That is
wild, man.
That is wild.
We are witnessing the next genre boom in gaming. Autochess, or auto battlers, which I think is what the new genre is becoming, and what it's being called is auto battlers.
Yeah.
And we're witnessing something that it's changing the game. It's changing the game. Now the question is, how the hell do they monetize? That is going to be the biggest challenge that they all have. How does Dota Underlords monetize? Is it really just going to be on the boards and maybe adding like the little minion characters? Like, is that really your only option for monetization? Is that appealing enough? You know, are you going to get skins for the characters too? Is that a possibility? There's that's also. And then where does this go for esports? How does esports factor into all this stuff? Because you know it's coming.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. You know it's coming, and you ain't gonna stop it. ESL's probably running some crap right now, so it's gonna happen. It's crazy,
unreal.
I get excited when I talk about this stuff.
Yeah,
because
we talked about it a lot as well.
Well, yeah, but because it is such an interesting thing, right? Like what we're gonna witness here, when you see new genres coming into the space, it impacts not just us as gamers, but impacts the industry as a whole, because battle royales changed so much about development, changed so much about microtransactions, pricing models, distribution. It impacted the industry in a way that it hadn't been impacted, I would say, until like before next gen console.
Maybe
right?
Since MOBAs.
Yeah, I would say MOBAs. Yeah, definitely MOBAs, right? Like we are witnessing like something new, and I just can't believe that it's happening so soon.
Yeah,
because I really thought we were going to get more legs off of Battle Royale, but it turns out,
they can coexist.
Oh, certainly can. They're not catering to the same audience.
Exactly.
And the biggest beneficiary of all of this, without a doubt, is Twitch. Because right now on Twitch, you got Fortnite at 210,000 viewers, and you have Teamfight Tactics at 116,000 viewers. League of Legends, what was once the number one game, now at 85,000 viewers. Overwatch knocked down to 23,000 viewers. But even then, man, look at these numbers. It's like I say only, but it's staggering. It's staggering how much Twitch has benefited from all this stuff. And other games too are seeing increases from this, from just the activity that has been happening on Twitch. Games like Hearthstone have just continued to perform really, really well. Path of Exile, Rainbow Six Siege, like it just, all these games continue to just benefit from all the increased traffic that's coming their way. Like even when I go to Rainbow Six Siege right now, they have 19,000 viewers, and you would think, oh yeah, Pro League's probably on. Nope, Pro League is not on. It is 19,000 people watching Rainbow Six. It's a lot of people.
Trickle down effect is real. And speaking of trickle down, last thing I want to talk about, Twitch had a new update. You can now sort by how many viewers you have or not how many viewers. You can now sort by lowest to highest and highest to viewers, or highest to lowest on Twitch. Low to high.
I think it's a completely useless feature in its current state, because when you go to low, it's literally just really bad zero.
I love that
streams.
Though. You don't like that? Sometimes at night I just go and find like 0 viewer streams and just watch them. Because sometimes it's just people that don't even realize they're streaming. Like they've accidentally hit stream on Shadowplay, and it booted it up. And you're like, you get like an insight into someone's life, and he's like, his mum's screaming at him to like clean up his room, and he doesn't even know what's happening. Like it's wild.
Yeah, I'm like,
I tried it out, and I found this channel with 0 viewers.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, though, it's always going to recommend you people that have 0 viewers because it's almost impossible to find a Twitch category that has viewers in every channel. They really just they don't exist for big games. So you're just going to get a flood of 0 viewer channels. Is that really what people want? I think what people want is aspiring, upcoming, dedicated, but very small content creators, which is not what you get when you generally look at 0 viewer streams. They normally have a couple.
I found a Japanese horse racing stream.
Okay.
Like, a company has set it up. It's live, but there's nothing on the screen. It's just an image of a Japanese horse racing course.
I'm actually watching something great. Watching IETV UK streaming is these 2 guys. I don't know what's going on. Oh,
this is crazy. There's so much trash on Twitch.
I have to link it.
This is
holy.
Okay,
I linked it in the doc.
Yeah, I'm just looking at stuff like who put the Rock Broadcast link in there?
Me.
Johnny found this. I don't know. What is this woman saying?
Hold on, where? Link
Rock
it.
Broadcast.
Twitch.tv/Rock Broadcast.
I found Bible Talk TV.
Is she preaching? I can't hear what she's saying. Wait, everybody shush for a second.
It's so low.
What the hell?
I can't understand what she's saying.
Oh, hold on,
I literally can't hear her
I
at all.
I hear it.
I just hear a very faint voice in my left ear saying about women and drinking and stuff.
This is bizarre.
It's religious.
We've discovered this entirely new section.
Okay, maybe it is
civilization.
actually pretty good.
This is bizarre.
What's this one? IETV UK streaming.
Oh, dude,
What
go
is
to
this?
that. It's phenomenal. I don't know if it's live, but it's great. It's just these 2 guys. They're talking. I think it's Italian, and they're eating meat.
Okay. Well, I've got an ad first. I got a State Farm ad, but here we go.
Con quella continuiamo a spingere.
What the fuck is this?
Okay, what is this? IETV UK streaming. For anybody who's an audio listener, we are currently watching a 2-camera setup with
3 camera.
Oh, 3-camera setup.
Well produced.
Of Italians eating a prosciutto lunch.
That has I could fuck with some prosciutto right now.
But
Yeah,
also, where are the solo cams? Like, this is like a full setup.
Yeah.
One's hidden in the bread basket.
Oh,
And the other is... There it is.
Yeah.
You see it?
There's
Yeah.
the GoPro beside the bread basket. Where's the other one?
No, wait. The waiter is mic'd up as well.
Yo, I was gonna say the same thing, Johnny.
This has to be like someone restreaming.
This is a
that TV show.
4-camera setup.
They have to be.
Our show sucks
Yeah.
in comparison.
Yeah, it really does.
But what is
What
this?
is happening?
Is this is this like food review, or is it like a restaurant review channel or something? It must be restreaming someone else's content. Nobody
But what I
streams
think
this
is
to 0 people.
funnier about this whole thing is that the category is Fortnite.
That is.
That's great.
Whoa, what's happening now?
Who said
what are
that
they
this
doing?
was useless? This is gold.
Is that
You know what?
cheese?
I'm so sorry. I
What
stand
is
corrected.
this?
Oh my God.
This has been edited. This isn't live.
Dude,
This is
they
just someone
are-
restreaming
Is that
some-
cheese?
Have they set fire to cheese?
Whoa.
Our podcast listeners are just so confused right now. You've got to
Okay.
go and watch the YouTube VOD of this.
We're telling you right now, what we're watching for our audio listeners, I think they're making a carbonara on
I'm
a
so
block.
hungry.
They're
I'm
making
so hungry.
They're making a carbonara on a block of cheese in person and mixing the noodles in this giant cheese block,
That's fantastic. I've never seen anything better.
which is mind blowing. And these
Oh my
guys
God,
are
look at
just
that.
watching. They're watching this perfection be crafted.
Oh
They're
my
now
God, look at
decorating it with pepper, and they're coming in hot with the plates.
This is the best Twitch channel on Twitch, and it's got
This
4
is
viewers.
incredible. Well, I think it's got 4 viewers because it's
Because of the foreheads.
foreheads watching it. Okay, I vow. This is what I think we should do. We should do a live broadcast where we just watch 0 viewer streams.
Yes,
just
absolutely.
He
Absolutely,
only follows
we should do that.
one channel.
If you want that,
Stream.io.
you want that, let us know in the Twitch chat. Tweet us using the hashtag the foreheads on Twitter, and let us know in the YouTube comments. Let us know if you want that. We'll do it.
We're also running out of time for this episode. We've got a couple of minutes left. Do we want to tackle one topic and then leave?
Yeah.
A couple of questions. What's your thoughts, Alex?
No, I mean, well, I think we have general housekeeping stuff. That I'm just blown away by this. We have general housekeeping stuff. So we are gonna all 4 of us have agreed we are gonna make a Twitch channel that just shows the foreheads. We're gonna make the channel. Maybe this is gonna be on it. Or
yeah, probably.
No?
If we can make the channel in time, if one of you can make it today, then I'll set it up to stream.
Or we just put this on your channel and then we promote it and then we siphon your viewers. And I think that's
yes, that might be the best idea.
I think that's what we should do. So we're gonna make a new channel. We'll probably put it in the Twitch chat when we've made that channel. We'll put it on Twitter as well. And then
go follow us there.
Stuff. Yeah. We haven't figured out all the other stuff yet, but we're gonna do that. We are on Spotify, iTunes, and wherever else you can listen to podcasts. So there you go. Just search for what is it? The foreheads or foreheads?
The foreheads. Yeah.
Look for the foreheads.
And also sometimes it doesn't pop up because it doesn't have that many followers yet. So if you search for a specific episode title, that will generally bring it up instantly. So like the foreheads E3 or the foreheads Autochess or whatever, or the foreheads Goldenboy or whatever, it will normally pop up then.
Yeah. So do that. And then it's kind of, I mean, we've been having a lot of fun, but this is a pretty serious topic. So I'm just gonna say it, and then because it's just important to say. Today, YouTube blogger by the name of Atika, I hope I'm saying the name right, Etika or Etika, didn't really watch his content. Unfortunately, he committed suicide, according to the NYPD. He was a Brooklyn resident. I'm also a Brooklyn resident. And it was really unfortunate. And, it really sucks. And it's not something that you want to hear in a podcast. But I think it is important to mention. I put out a tweet about it as well. And all I'm going to say is, if you're having suicidal thoughts, or if you are having issues, one, talk to somebody. It's okay. Loved ones are there for you. If you don't have that resource, you can reach out to the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, which is 1-800-273-8255. So do that. Please, people love you. And, that's the best I could possibly say regarding it. It's a pretty heavy topic. Also, there are international numbers as well. I'm going to see if I can find it here real fast on my Twitter. But there are some international numbers if you are from the UK, Australia, so on and so forth. Reach out, and people are there to help you. So it's a little bit of a rough one to end on, but I think it's just important to talk about.
Yeah, it's really important.
Yeah. Because we as gamers, right, we tend to be very isolated. And I think sometimes our minds get the better of us. And we don't think that there are people out there that care, but they do. Everyone who listens to this podcast, I'm going to say there was a gentleman that I met at the RLCS finals. Our first fan that I had met in person, and he straight up told me, hey man, I put this podcast on, and it just makes me laugh. And, you don't even need to talk about Overwatch stuff. Just keep making us laugh. And I think that goes a very long way. Laughter goes a very long way. Especially Bren and Johnny's antics. Mm-hmm. And whenever Sideshow tries to
be funny.
Yeah. I want to end on the thing I love the most about being a content creator, especially with you guys, is that we have incredible fan bases, and a lot of people in our Discord channels or on Twitter or whatever, and we have these small communities. And so there's people out there with the same interest as you that would happily talk to you at the end of your day, when you come home from school or when you come home from work. There's a lot of like-minded people in our industry. So reach out and talk to someone.
Yeah, and also I think another wider point from the Itika case that applies to a bunch of other stuff as well is respect the strain that social media can put on your brain. Like, and when I say respect it, I mean like
take a break.
Take a break. Do what's necessary to reset if you feel like it's affecting you negatively. Don't just view it as, oh, it's just people online or whatever. Our brains are not wired to cope with that kind of stuff all the time, day in, day out. Even for people that would otherwise be able to cope with stuff, it's important to realize what is what's messing with you sometimes. And for quite a few people, it's social media stuff. So
enjoy the outdoors without the phone.
I think that's the truth.
It works.
Yeah. Go for a run. Enjoy the park. Do things like that. I did include in our doc, just so you guys know, there is someone had given me a Wikipedia link that is a list of suicide crisis lines internationally. So it covers a bunch of different countries on here. There might be some missing. I don't really have that information. But we will also have no problem sharing that on the Twitch chat. I'll make sure that I'm in the chat when the podcast is going on and we're talking about this, and then putting that out there so that people can click it and just have it as a resource.
I will put it in the YouTube description as well.
Yes, as well. But that is going to end it for us. Bren, you have anything you want to add? I don't know if you wanted to say something.
Yeah, it's a very important topic. It's close to my heart. People don't realize this, but in the UK, I think it's the biggest killer for men between the ages of 20 and 49 is suicide. So a lot of people don't realize this. It's kind of, I don't know, it's not talked about too often. People don't like talking about their mental health or in general. Yeah. It's seen as not masculine to talk about your feelings or what it's like. But let's try and change that mindset, I suppose.
Yeah,
that's right.
And if you need to talk to people like Johnny's saying, there are communities, even just not communities specifically designed for this, but just communities of like-minded people, or where like we're hanging around and stuff, and we care. So there are people that do. Don't ever feel like a burden. Everybody goes through shit like that. It's important.
It's true. I travel all the time. I'm constantly on the road, sometimes by myself. And there are times where I get in my own head and I'm just like, man, is this worth it? Am I exhausted? I'm frustrated, or, a variety of things. And, it's your mind sometimes can be your worst enemy. So what helps me is talking to my wife, and it helps.
Yeah. And to just clue in on that for a final bit. I know it sounds like a cliche, and it's like, I don't know, not frowned upon, but like, I think like meditation can actually be really helpful if you overthink a lot and you have too many thoughts going on. Just taking a break from your mind can be really helpful sometimes. Yeah. So there's plenty of apps and stuff out there to help get you started. So
there you go. So hey, and if talking about mental health is not masculine, then I'm okay not being viewed as a masculine individual. Honestly, I'm perfectly fine with that, because it's something that needs to be talked about.
Yeah, that's crazy though, Alex, because normally you would just be the bastion of masculinity.
Dude, I mean, this beard, this voice, I've been blessed.
When I think Chad Adonis-like characters, Goldenboy springs to my mind.
A national treasure.
There you go. From a global icon and a national treasure, it's all good in the hood. Peace, love, and positivity. But that is going to do it for this episode of The Foreheads. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give us some love on there. Follow us on Spotify, apps, iTunes, wherever you listen to podcasts. Follow Josh, because it's going to be on his channel. And then when you give him a follow, check on over to the Twitch Foreheads channel, which should hopefully be made by this point in time. And then we will put it out there as well. Thank you guys so much for listening, watching the Foreheads yet again. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.